the state of Florida, if you actually violated 2 prior injunctions before, this could become a felony. So you could be looking at up to 5 years in prison. I'm Adam Rossen with the Rossen Law Firm, criminal defense firm in South Florida. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the penalties if you violate a restraining order. So this is another video in our series all about restraining orders, commonly called injunctions in Florida. And we often get the question of, well, okay, so what happens if I violate? Right? We don't want a client to violate, but right, what happens? What are the penalties? Well, first of all, let's talk about the ways that somebody can violate. So really, it's about contact. It's about direct contact, indirect contact, third-party contact. Those are generally the ways that you're going to violate. Usually, that you will be precluded from going to somebody's maybe house or somebody's place of employment or school. You are going to be precluded from owning or possessing any firearms. So on these cases, they take away your Second Amendment right to own and possess firearms if you have an outstanding injunction. So those are the ways that somebody typically will violate in a case like this. But what's the penalties, right? What's actually going to happen to you? Well, there are civil penalties and there are criminal penalties. So a civil penalty would be the petitioner, or most likely the petitioner's attorney, filing a contempt motion in the civil injunction case. Basically saying to the judge, we want you to hold this person in contempt of court, whether that's monetary sanctions, whether that's jail, or we want some kind of punishment because this person disobeyed your court order, judge, your order of protection, to benefit me, the petitioner, and to prevent this respondent from calling me, contacting me, whatever. So that's on the civil side, as far as everything that goes on there. They could also, and it could be one or the other, or it could be both. They could go to the police, go to the authorities, go to the prosecutor's office and say that they wanted you arrested for the misdemeanor crime of violation of an injunction. So that is a crime. It is a misdemeanor with a max punishment of up to a year in jail or a year probation or any combination of the two. And in the state of Florida, if you actually violated 2 prior injunctions before, this could become a felony. So you could be looking at up to 5 years in prison if you violate an injunction. Okay, that's very rare, but it can happen. We have had clients with multiple violation of injunction charges and a bunch of different things. Now, look, can it be defended against? Absolutely, right? There's many different ways. All types of cases can be defended against. We just have to do the work. But bottom line is, you really don't want to put yourself in this position. So there's a whole host of potential civil issues or penalties on the civil case, which could also involve up to jail and for contempt of court. And then there's criminal penalties as well, with a whole new separate case, violation of an injunction. And technically speaking, let's say you decide to send text messages to this person on 3 separate occasions. If the prosecutors wanted to be vindictive, they can arrest you. You probably get arrested once, but they would charge you for 3 separate cases of violation of injunction. They could do 3 separate counts. They could also do 3 separate cases. So they can really try to stick it to you, because for each case or each count could have a year in jail. So they could try to roll on you consecutive, 3 years, 5 years, right? So 7 years, if they really wanted to play hardball. So not something that you want to do. Of course, when you're working in the realm of injunctions, you need to have the best criminal defense attorney possible. Most of the time, you're going to deal with either a criminal defense attorney or a family law attorney for these type of injunctions. We're just generally the 2 types of attorneys that handle injunctions. I strongly prefer and think the best are criminal defense attorneys, because we know how to actually try cases. We know how to put forth evidence. We know how to cross-examine much better than family lawyers do. So I really think, you need the best criminal defense lawyer. Not all criminal defense lawyers will handle civil injunctions or restraining orders. We do. So if you're not even in our area, you want to talk to the best criminal lawyers that are going to litigate, that are going to fight, and that are really going to be good at cross-examining these people and kind of, sniffing out the BS on these cases. Far too many people go to court alone on these cases and go, well, I'm just going to handle it on my own. And then they come to us afterwards saying, oh boy, did we get railroaded? And there's not much we can do at that point. So if you're ever in this situation, call the best criminal defense lawyer you can find. If anybody has questions at all about this, just give us a call, 754-206-6200. We'd love to help you out.